We are back, and why don't we tackle another topic, and that is that of bail reform, though better to talk. Got two for the price of one today, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Clayton, the executive director at American Bail Coalition, and Michelle Esquenazi. She is the president of the National Association of Bail Agents. Both are a welcome addition on this morning program. We say a very good morning to both.
Hey, Jay.
How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Michelle, you're back. We love having you back. And Jeff, first time. This has been, obviously, Michelle, we'll start out with you. You know, I'll tell you, this is an ongoing discussion. You know, we saw some change during the last election. It's a hot topic. A couple of new DAs in place as far as the island is concerned. Nonetheless, we have been rocked by incidents, you know, two police officers, two heroes murdered by an individual who should never been out on the streets. You have a woman who was stabbed 40 times by another deranged person. Maybe if we had stiffer laws, we would not have seen the likes of Osmond Nash and even the feces fiend from 8 or 9 days ago, another individual in a homeless shelter. Not monitored properly and everything else, you know, had pending cases, open cases, you name it. This Frank Abraqua, Michelle. So, in essence, the beat goes on, the conversations as well, including an article that really kind of ruffled me feathers in Yancey Roy the other day, you know, and, you know, we talk about the media not giving it to you straight. I mean, you put all this in a salad bowl. Well, that's why you have intense discussions of this nature, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, one thing bail reform legislation never considered were crime victims, and that crime victims come in every single color and every single ideology. And most of the people that are committing these recidivist crimes, Jay, are emotionally disturbed persons that while they were incarcerated were getting their antipsychotics and getting their SSRI medication. So the fact that they let them into the street, you know, they don't know the fundamental differences between right and wrong because they're hearing voices is not particularly astounding. It's something that obviously the legislature should address. Public safety is just no longer existent. No one feels comfortable with their family members going into the city anymore. So it's an abhorrent issue, and it really needs to be addressed before Senate session closes.
Yeah, nobody talks about, Jeff Clayton, the number of folks that have been harmed by the recidivism that's out there, as Michelle talks about. It seems to me what makes this so frustrating is our so-called political leaders. You know, when you hear from Majority Leader up in Albany in the Senate that state the wrong number as far as individuals, you know, those released under the new law getting rearrested for a violent felony while their case is pending is completely false. And when those individuals get it wrong, you know, that's a big problem right now. That is a massive problem. Give me your take, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Albany's been getting it wrong ever since they started down this road. And really how they got it wrong was they said, we're going to decide who's low risk and who's not because we don't like how judges are doing it. What we've learned around the country is there just wasn't a lot of low-level people in jail. They were there because judges thought they belonged there. And what we're telling judges is these people are low-level when really they're high-level because they have 20 priors. They just committed a low-level crime right now, and they're at high risk to do it again. So that's really what it comes down to is we want to label people as low risk and high risk, not in Albany, in a courtroom. And Albany thought they could do it a lot better than the judges down here in New York City.
Afraid, Michelle, why are people afraid to state the facts, even that of a guy who's a columnist for the Newsday publication, and really not getting it right? You know, if you're not being real, to be a journalist is to kind of keep it real. I think that's an obligation of us all, right? Is to tell the truth, state the facts. Why are the facts being altered so much regarding this topic?
You know, Jay, Newsday is just, it's a rag. I mean, I hate to call the ball, but it is what it is, you know. I would love to have a debate with that particular writer of that article because he has no idea what he's writing about and made it look very one-sided. And the people of Long Island, obviously, they don't, because look who they voted in as district attorneys, really law and order district attorneys here in Nassau County. They had enough of the whole bail reform movement. You know, when you buy a piece of the suburb, you want a piece of public safety, period.
Yeah. That's what it is. And even bringing up, Jeff, the Stuart Cousins deal, 2%, she says, when in actuality, if you listen to a guy like Jim Quinn, who's been on the airwaves of this station over the last couple of weeks, and he states the case as best as you can. It's not 2%, it's 43%. I mean, that's the number. 43% get arrested while their case is pending. That just shows you that a judge cannot set bail and releases these individuals on these non-monetary type conditions. Again, half, that 43%, get rearrested while cases pending. That's the real number. It's not 2%. It's 43%. And it's so clear when you analyze this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely 43%. You know, the interesting part about that was if we told you just let judges set bail, we could reduce the pretrial crime rate by 24% according to those numbers, because people on bail were actually have to have somebody in the community vouch for them commit crimes at lower levels. And we never see that. People always say, well, they're just going to post bail and go do it anyway. Well, it turns out that's not the case. The judges were doing it a lot better, and you take similar risk people and you require them to post bail or stay in jail, then look what happens. So if they're in jail, they don't commit a crime, and they commit crimes at a 24% lower rate. Half the amount of crimes, frankly, when they're on bail. So that just goes to show you that judges knew what they were doing, and we need to let them go back to doing their job. Stop handcuffing the judges.
Well, I think another area that really clouds the picture, and I've spoken to a lot of people, certainly involved in the courtroom, is the fact that they harp on, individuals who get busted, for light type crimes, marijuana, whatever it is, and they got to pay a high number in order to get out. And I think sometimes that clouds the overall picture to the point where you can't have a sensible discussion, because people are so focused on those who are being held and can't afford the process, you see. And it really kind of muddies the waters in a very big way, where you have to have these types of discussions. But how can you when you're bringing up that type of stuff? And I think that is a massive component here of why we are in what we're in right now,
Listen, Jay, there's two things I could say to that. One is that crime is not a mandate. It's a career choice, right? And the second thing is, prior to the legal enactment of bail reform on 1/1/20, 70% of the arrested in New York City were released already on their own recognizance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the biggest things. And if you really do the analysis, Jeff, you see, that's what it's all about, you see. It's about the analysis and trying to understand. But when you have people up in Albany, when you have the architects from way back in time, like the Mike Gianorises and the Todd Kaminskis, it's a fit. I mean, there's a reason why, just to kind of get in the political arena of why a guy like State Senator Todd Kaminsky lost by 47,000 plus votes to Ann Donnelly for the post of district attorney in Nassau County. There's a reason for it. Because people are in tune. And that's one of the biggest things right now. People don't feel safe anymore. They don't. They just don't feel safe. I mean, you got to look around your shoulder. Anywhere you go now, it's spilling over into our area, too. We have seen a brazen amount of activity since the first of the year, including a shooting, by the way, on the Long Island Railroad. So it's a very real situation. And do you believe, Jeff, that people are really kind of, they kind of see now. They kind of see what's going on here in a very clear way.
I think they're starting to, and as former DA Quinn said, the average person who's taken advantage of the law has 20 prior strikes against them in terms of not showing up and have prior crimes. So that's what we're talking about here, as Michelle said. There's bail bondsmen in the system exists for recidivist criminals, and that's who we need to go after. And if we don't, in New York City, it's just going to get worse. And the criminals have found out now. They know the loopholes. They know when they can do it and when they can't, and they know they're going to be right back out on the street. And that's the problem. We need to
know, right, Michelle? I mean, they know. They know that if they get cuffed in the morning, guess what? They're going to be having lunch by 2 o'clock. And that's what it is. They are in tune with the fact they know these laws, the way they exist, right? They know. They know what's going on, right?
Jay, crime without consequence begets crime without consequence. We don't send our children into the middle of the Belt Parkway to have a play date. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. 1 and 1 is 2 in America, even in New York.
question. We're talking with Jeff Clayton, Michelle Esquenazi. We're talking bail. So, Jeff, we always try and find solutions, right? Because the world is about finding a fix. Okay, we're trying to find a fix as far as Ukraine-Russia is concerned, and we must have a fix regarding this. The only way I see it is for a change, and that happens at the polls. And we have the power to terminate, and hopefully something will come about. But, I'm so tired of people who say, well, it's kind of we can do a little bit of a tweak. No, it's not about a tweak. It's a tear down. And I've said this all along. And I said there's three things here. Okay, obviously the judges, in giving judges their discretion to consider public safety, no matter what the charges, right? In deciding whether a suspect needs to be jailed, pending is key here. Pending is key. That's a key word here. Pending trial. 47 states give judges that authority, including, by the way, Jersey, which also limited most cash bail. But in essence, the judge situation, reversing presumption on rapid disclosure is key of victim and witness info. I've said that a million times. Names and identifying information have to be redacted, folks, until defense attorneys make the case for what they need to know at the start of the process, rather in the weeks leading up to trial. And the third most important thing, Jeff and Michelle, is the discovery aspect here, because slashing the rest of that requirement, this new discovery requirement, you have to do it to a level to allow, for instance, these crime labs and these prosecutors can manage in a timely manner. You can't let defense attorneys game the system. How do they do that? By gumming up the works until the prosecution gives in. What is so hard, Jeff Clayton, to look at those three things and figure out, you know what? Let's start again. Because it's not working currently. And again, I get it. It's a politicizing beyond belief of what's going on. But these are the three things that have to be examined and torn down.
Oh, yeah. If there was a will, there's a way. And I know because I work in 46 other states on this issue. Other states have figured this out. And what they're saying is, hey, we're going to make this discovery thing fair. We're going to make it electronic, and we're going to make it fast. We were at a forum last night, and the criminal justice system in New York is shut down in terms of how long it takes to actually convict somebody. Other states, what are they saying? Hey, if you're already out on bail and you commit another crime, guess what? No more free passes. And that's Delaware, Texas. I mean, a bipartisan group of states are doing it. So if there's a will, there's a way. And apparently there's no will right now.
Yeah. And listen, you look at the former administration, Michelle Esquenazi, and that legislature breaking New York's criminal justice system. They must restore this balance, and quick. And I tell you, I just don't have a lot of confidence. I just don't. You need help from the legislature, the city council, Eric Adams. Eric Adams. Think about Eric Adams. He's somewhat handcuffed. He's made pleas, virtual style, two separate occasions on deaf ears. We have lost it, Michelle Esquenazi, as a society. You got a city council member when those two heroes were murdered, who actually coupled same sentence, that murderer, with condolences to that murderer's family. I mean, if that is not an example of how we have lost it in our society, I don't know what is, honestly. I mean, this city council is from another planet. Another Adrian Adams, please. Please. Christina Richardson Jordan making a comment of that nature. Are you kidding me? Until we get change, Michelle Esquenazi, we got nothing.
Listen, I couldn't agree with you more. And, we have this new governor, and, there's so many competent people running for governor right now. If she thinks for 5 seconds that she's going to become governor again and walk away and not fix bail reform, she needs to think again, because everyone knows what it is now, Jay. They're all talking about it at the dinner table now. So, Kathy Hochul, if you're listening, you better fix bail reform or else you're not going to be the governor again.
Jeff, you agree with that? Because right now, Lee Zeldin is making a case, and a big case, You know, and a lot of people thought Zeldin wouldn't have a chance. Completely different now. There is no question right now that Kathy Hochul is reeling. She's reeling because she is pandering. Okay? And that's what our political officials do right now. They pander. They don't care about the people. When you don't care about the people that you preside over, massive problem here. We saw it November 2nd. I still say we're going to see it November the 8th. This is a top flight issue in this state right now. Top flight. No question. Okay? This guy's getting endorsed every which way but Sunday. He's got more money than he ever thought of in his coffers right now. Okay? He is making his way around. He is a competent guy. He's got a lieutenant governor, Allison Esposito. I mean, come on. If you've heard her in interviews on this particular station, you know where she is coming from. She speaks from the heart. She speaks from her heart as far as being part of a generation of police officers. I mean, it is unbelievable right now. But the point is that this is a focal point beyond proportions right now, what people are thinking. And you both agree, I would imagine. If you're not keeping me safe, we're going to make change. And right now, they're on high alert. And Hochul didn't do herself any justice at all. You have a meeting with the district attorney of Manhattan and Alvin Bragg, and you share a vision? What kind of vision? That you're not going to prosecute turnstile jumpers? Prostitution? Marijuana possession? Resisting arrest? What's the I'm trying to think what the vision is that Hochul has with Bragg. Are they on the same wavelength regarding grand larceny / petty larceny? I mean, come on. Oh, my goodness. Michelle and Jeff, I give you final words. Michelle, go ahead.
Jeff?
Yeah, well, I would say don't underestimate the crime wave. I mean, like I said, I work on this from coast to coast, and the public's mad right now, and you better do something if you expect to win in this next election cycle on the crime issue. And if you don't, you're in serious trouble. That's just reality right now. People are upset, and they want something to change now.
What I would say, finally, is that the reason why we didn't hear about this eons ago is because secured bail agents throughout the United States of America protect public safety in their communities every single day. When mom, grandma, auntie, and dad are signing to procure someone's release, they are vested in that individual's release back into our communities. Secured bail has always worked since the inception of time. So I would suggest that we take another look at bail reform, get back to the table, and fix it for the good people, the innocent people of the state of New York.
That's well said. Jeff Clayton, Executive Director at American Bail Coalition. Michelle Esquenazi, President of the National Association of Bail Agents. Great discussion, ladies and gents. And I look forward to the next time, both of you. How's that?
Thank you.
Thank you.